Thank you for inviting me to celebrate with you today. I went to Swarthmore years ago, and I majored in comparative religion. I think I came here really wanting to find answers to some of life's big questions. You know, why do we believe the things that we believe? Why do we do the things we do? And at graduation, though, I remember a friend of mine saying to me, you know, I'm still confused, but just at a higher level. And in the years since then, I still haven't found a lot of black and white answers to life's big questions. But one of the things I like about making movies is that it forces me to keep engaging, forces me to pay attention to the world around me. I'm naturally an introvert, and like a lot of folks, I probably spend too much time looking at my phone and interacting with people who are just like me. But my mom was the opposite. She was an amazing storyteller, grown up on a farm, and always had something new to tell you about. A funny experience at the grocery store, or some interesting person that she'd sat next to on a plane, or some sad thing she'd overheard at the coffee shop. And when I was young, I was always a little jealous that so many colorful things happened to her. But when I got older, I began to realize it wasn't that more things happened to her, it was just that she noticed the things that most of us overlook. There's an old story I like about a man and a woman who are walking down a busy street in New York City, and there are horns honking and trucks roaring, and the woman says to the man, "Hey, you hear that cricket?" And the man stops and he strains his ear, and sure enough, there's this slight chirping of a cricket. And he told the woman, "You must have really amazing ears to be able to hear that." And the woman says, "No, my ears are the same as everybody else, it's just what you're listening for." And she said, "Watch this." And she reaches into her pocket, and she drops a quarter on the sidewalk. And it makes this faint little clink, and everybody around pats their pockets and looks around to see whether they've dropped a quarter. And she says, "See, it's just a matter of what you're listening for." My mom was like that woman. She loved to spot details that were noteworthy and story-worthy. And she also loved drawing out strangers and getting to know people that most of us ignore. She knew that the guy who worked security in her office building used to dream of being a jazz trumpet player. And she knew that the lady who cleaned the office had fled from Eastern Europe in the 1980s. My mom took a lot of delight in that moment when you discover that somebody is different and more complicated than you thought at first. And she nurtured that delight in me. Years ago, I started thinking about how strange it was that NASCAR was one of the biggest spectator sports in America, but I didn't know anything about it. I couldn't name 2 NASCAR drivers, and not only that, I didn't really know anybody who could name 2 NASCAR drivers. And that seemed sort of pitiful. It seemed like there were NASCAR fans and non-NASCAR fans, and if you mapped it, it would probably look a lot like a red state, blue state map. And I thought, if I want to understand my country and the people who share it with me, I should probably spend some time learning about the things that they care about. So I shot a documentary called Racing Dreams. It's about 2 boys and a girl who want to become NASCAR drivers when they grow up. And they are 11 and 12 years old. They race these go-karts that go 70 miles an hour in what's basically the Little League for NASCAR. And early in the film, the mother of the little girl, who's this racing prodigy, the mother says to me, "You know, some people don't understand racing. They just think it's cars going around in circles. But we don't understand, like, baseball. To us, that's just guys standing out in a field hoping somebody might hit them a ball, and they might not even hit it to them." And I love that comment so much because it reminds me that anything that you don't understand, whether it's racing or baseball or jazz or documentary film or religion, it all looks absurd from the outside. But once you get inside a little bit and you start to understand what makes a good pass in a race or why a knuckleball wobbles, then things that you didn't even realize were blurry suddenly come into focus, and life becomes a little richer. So as you leave here to pursue your dream, whatever it is, I hope you'll make progress on some of life's big questions, but I also hope you'll carve out a little space to eavesdrop on conversations in the checkout line, to look up from your phone and notice who's sitting next to you in the restaurant, to get to know people outside of your circle, and to listen for the sound of that cricket. Thanks.